I feel good about it. There's been a lot of positive steps that we've taken. There's been a few setbacks, a few goals that maybe we haven't achieved, but I'm just thankful to be here. 3 years ago, we achieved a goal of getting into the playoffs for the first time, and then we got into playoffs the second time and got to host a playoff game. And then we got to playoffs again and got to host a playoff game and win a playoff game and then go win another one. So those are all part of the stepping stones. And, of course, when you have seasons where you come through some adversity and you're able to get in the playoffs or able to advance in the playoffs, it really helps you in your speed and strength program from then on. More guys buying into the sacrifice that it takes to get a little bit better. We always talk to them about it doesn't take much more to go first class. Give an extra 10% and you'll go from okay or good to being first class and or great. So I feel good about where we're at. We're returning a good mixture of youth and experienced guys. I think our O-line will be good this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. We'll be a mixture of youth at the receivers as well as a few experienced guys. Defensively, we're probably struggling a little bit with depth right now in our receiving core and defensive backs, but I like the depth in our offense and defensive line.
You got, 3 starters coming back on defense?
I believe that's right, yes, sir. Last year's senior class was a little small, but there was great quality. And so all those kids found them a place, especially defensively. And, we lost some good kids, but again, the kids that supported them last year, now they're stepping into those starting roles and thinking, I remember what Michael Flory did. I'm sitting here in his spot. I got to do better. I remember what a Keaton Yates did, and so those are all positive things, and it just adds to helping to build a program. And again, the community support is great. We've got a little bit of a discipleship program, I'd call it, with our dads and sons that we meet with the dads several times during football season, and just to use our football program is a real building tool, not only in the lives of the young men, but in their fathers as well, and hopefully with the community.
That's great. Talk about the toughest people to replace from last year's squad. Who would those people be, and who are you counting on to step into those shoes?
Well, Grant Childers comes to mind just because he was very talented, and people had to really defend him. And when they would even defend him in ways where he was actually doubled, it allowed our other receivers to flourish. So there were times, Grant might just have 1 or 2 catches a game, but everybody else was having breakout games. And then when they had to guard everybody else, then Grant would have a great game. And so, he's hard to replace. Micah Flory could do it all, and his leadership was amazing. Keaton Yates that could play both sides of the ball. Jared Stewart on the offensive line that just loved the game and brought so much of an attitude that we needed. People like Hunter Stinson that, just good, solid people that love the game, that, when you look at them on paper, they may not show that they're really, really talented, but they showed the heart of a champion. They showed that, it's not about our size or our speed. We're going to go out there and we're going to find a way to win. And just that core group of guys, and Ashbrick, Colin, came into our program late and just started developing and had such a good senior year at linebacker. It was just, you got to replace those guys, but not only are you replacing their position, but you're replacing their personality and what they brought, the variables that they brought to the team. And that's why every team is different. This team, there's guys on our team that are very good leaders, that have those attitudes that fire people up. There's some that have just a real quiet demeanor to themselves, but when you watch them, they're just working so hard and giving everything that they've got. So the things that we will miss and will have to feel is the leadership qualities. I think more than anything is seeing these seniors step into it, and some of our juniors able to step into those leadership opportunities.
Who are some of the guys that you're counting on to have big seasons this year of these returning starters?
Well, Blake White last year did a great job at quarterback. He was surrounded by some great receivers. This year, we're starting over somewhat in our receiving core. We do have Statler Lewis that is returning. But for the most part, we're kind of rebuilding. You know, you got a Cade Clayton that we're counting on, because Cade is such a multiple position kind of kid. He could play anywhere. And, you know, just figuring out the puzzle of where to place these young men is of course, that's what's so fun about coaching. Josh Boylan, you know, anchors our offensive line right there in the middle. I say anchor. He's right there in the middle of it. But he's another young man. If we need him at tight end, he's willing to play tight end. We can slide another lineman in there. So, you know, I think of Josh and the amount that he's invested, a Jacob Spitzer that has played outside backer and has made the move to inside backer as well as running back. We just got some good senior people. Again, Trey Marshall has improved vastly at the guard position, and Jacob Waddle's coming in, and Jacob may get some time on both sides of the ball. You know,
newcomers, guys that you're expecting some big things from that are new to the varsity.
New to the varsity. Well, he's not new to the varsity, but Adam Graham, you know, last year got to start as a true freshman for us, and
that's rare.
That is rare, and to play as much as he did. You know, another newcomer I would think would be Johnny Spitzer. You know, Johnny's got some pretty good feet on him. He's still in the process of learning offensively and defensively what we really expect out of him, but he's got some quick feet, and I think he'll do a good job as one of the young guys coming in there. Gabe Lucio. Yes, I think Gabe had a really good spring. Quick feet, had a good spring running the ball, and he has a real knack of getting to the football as a linebacker. So those are some guys that come to mind right quick.
You mentioned out to the crowd that you toughened your schedule up this year. When you're rebuilding, that's not something that normally you would do, but you decided to play a little tougher competition.